G'day guys. So often I do a wiring loom and I don't get to see the vehicle because I make it up, put it in a box, send it off. This time it's not the case. The man we had a Sparky who was meant to be doing this job, the guy hasn't turned up. So he begged me to come and do the job. Look what I got to work on. Check that. Oh, it's a bit big, eh? Check that out. How cool is that? With the 1UZ in it. There's a little bit of sorting in there, and the goal today is to make that thing make some noise. Good size radiator in it. There's some really neat stuff in here. Let's have a look inside. Look at that. Close up of the paint. Not really. RX-7 seats. Sure they were RX-7 seats. Dashboard, and I've got a bit of wiring to sort. There's an ECU to plug in, relays and fuses, so I'm going to get that going, and then we'll start working through gauges and stuff like that. And look at this garage. I can work in my bare feet because we've got carpet. So this is very, very cool. Columns out of Toyota of some sort. So we'll integrate that. Oh look. That'd be a kickdown switch for a 1UZ. This is an early model engine. Done all the loom up. And he's gone through and sorted stuff. You'll see a throttle body that's been modified as per my video. And he's been ringing me, asking a few questions and watching videos. And finding my channel a very, very helpful resource. That is cool. So I'm going to grab my tools, get stuck in, and attempt to make some noise today. So we're working along on the hot rod. Sorted out a couple of little things with the fuel system. Got that happening. We've got fuel to the engine, so I'm happy about that. Popped the oil filter off. Cranked up some oil pressure so we know the engine's got oil pressure. This engine's been sitting for 8 years, or approximate. That done, I did a couple of wiring changes. So we're moving along really well. And we go to the cranking part, and we do this. Yeah, that's not going to go. We can just hear it. There's no life. And this is actually kind of funny because I was just testing cam and crank angle sensors on this loom when it was on my engine, and it didn't want to start. In that particular case, the ECU was buggered. So the ECU's been away, and it's come back, and that's been repaired. It's actually got a little note on it, but there's no point trying to plug that ECU in yet, because I've got an ECU here that works, but doing my testing of cam and crank angle sensors, which I just did the video on last night, I've got no crank angle sensor, and I've got no right hand. The right hand cam sensor is not present. I've got one cam sensor going in. So until I fix that, this isn't going to run. I tested it at the ECU, like I showed in the video. I actually went straight to my scope. So I've scoped it. I could see the pattern on one cam sensor, nothing on the crank, nothing on the other cam. I resistance tested it. About 1100 ohms on one cam sensor, nothing on the other two. So we know 100% there's a cam and crank angle sensor problem. So I've got to find that, and we've got to fix it, because we're going to make this car go today, hopefully. Hopefully I don't need to come back with parts. Now, a really common place for failures is this plug here. And it has been tied back together. We know it is damaged. Let's see what we can find. See if I can find a cam and crank angle sensor and make this go. Earth's up here. Cam angle 1150. Cam angle 1100, close enough. Crank angle 1115, close enough. We had a poor connection at that plug I just pointed out. Plug that in. Plug that in. Screw it hard and fast in. Is it going to sound lively? Listening. We'll see if it's got spark. Oh, did you hear that pop in the exhaust? Yeah, turn that fuel pump on now. Woo, now we've got a little screw popped up. Screws popped up. TPS is unplugged for a reason. I don't know if we've got enough earth on these igniters. Push that back in. I want to see if it's actually got spark, eh? Can you pass me that screwdriver, please? Yeah, turn the pump off. And the reason I use the 5 and 7 is they're on different sides. So one's on one distributor, one coil, and one's on the other. Go, crank it. Look. I didn't see spark, but it wanted to go.
It's there. I saw it.
You saw it? Well, I could hear it trying to run. I just don't want that with this paint. First time, 8 years. Turn that pump on. Vroom. Press the button. It's not running well, but it runs. Well, it's running. This little screw is a long way up, eh? Those igniters are a bit warm, we might not have enough earth. That screw is like a long way up. Do we have? I can feel fuel coming here. Can you feel fuel going through that return? There's fuel going up the return, eh?
Must be.
I don't think it's a fuel type issue. I reckon we've got half the engine working, or we've got a lead on wrong, or something like that. Let's fix that. Make it go properly. Turn the pump off. Yeah. It runs. Runs badly, but it does run. I've just checked leads are in the correct position, and we're starting to go through some diagnosis of why it's popping and farting. We're going to get the correct airflow meter on it. The man modified the Karman Vortex and it doesn't work. It has to have the gauze in the front of it. So we're looking at that next. I've got my scan tool out. We're going to have a bit of a look in there. Kind of thinking maybe a TPS. Not completely certain yet. I was just revving it, filled the shed up with smoke, and it had moments of I want to go properly. So there's a lot of potential there. Often with the injectors being a bit seized, you give them a bit of a tap and they come back to life, or just let them warm up a bit and they come back to life. So crossing my fingers a little bit, we're going to make this go. The wall of inspiration. That is a good wall of inspiration. I like that wall. So the bonnet is back down. It runs, but not very well. But we will continue another day. I'll come back with some more parts, and we are going to make this thing go. But we made it run today. We'll make it go properly, is what we're after.